This week on the podcast for new all-age comic books for the week of September 19th, 2018, Big Nate, Felonious Funnies, Noodleheads, Super Friends, Star, and much more.
Hey, and welcome to Daddy Mojo. It's the podcast where we'll talk about parenting, all-age comic books, toys, and more. Now, here's your host, Trey Burley.
This is Trey with Daddy Mojo. Thanks for checking out the podcast this week for the new all-age comic books for the week of September 19, 2018. It's a great week because there's a fabulous selection of new comic books, new books, and new graphic novels. And sometimes we mention the fact that, sometimes there may be new graphic novels or new collections of previously published comics. And a lot of folks may not want to jump in there because the price point's going to be heavier. I get that, but we've got some great examples for stuff for the fans in graphic novels and new comic books like this one. It's from IDW Publishing. It is Impossible Inc. Great example this is of a short little miniseries that's going to hit middle school and up. And miniseries being that it's not going to be one that you're going to be tied to for years and years and years, whereas with one of the pedigree titles from any publisher, you're going to have a year-long relationship with it. This one, though, it's a 5-issue commitment. So get to know them, and maybe there'll be some more stories from Impossible Incorporated in the near future. Let me read you the synopsis for this from IDW Publishing. It's about a 17-year-old number, Horowitz. As she and her team, they get aboard a cosmic train called the Non-Local Express, and they ride past the sea of the infinite spiral that leads to other worlds, new dimensions. But here's the key here. It's got a teen hero, a teen girl hero. That's the word I'm looking for. Sometimes the words escape me. Beautiful stuff. This is a great example of a mini-series that's really going to hit middle school. So the vocabulary is going to be a little too much for those elementary school kids. Well, maybe fourth graders could read it. Younger than that, possibly not. But for only $3.99, if you're looking for a good science fiction series, mini-series, that's going to be original and fun, check out Impossible Incorporated. It's a brand new comic book out this week from IDW Publishing. And who's it going to be for? Yeah, again, fourth grade and up. We love this one. We love anything from Bongo Comics. Bongo Comics, they used to produce Simpsons comics. That's going out of production in the near future. They're still going to produce these one-offs. These great one-offs and the seasonal specials that they do really well. And this week has Felonious Funnies coming out. It's $3.99. It has 3 original stories featuring Chief Wiggam. Go ahead, take my money, please. I'm looking at the cover now, just laughing because it's great. And it's a fabulous, fabulous comic book if you've never read it. And I get why some parents don't want their kids to read Simpsons. Get it? Television show, I get it. It's a little bit maybe bitey for some parents. The comic book, though, does not have the bite. So jump into Felonious Funnies, because this is a great example of it's good to appreciate it while it's here, because Simpsons Comics is not going to be in print anymore. I think they may still do some original stories through the app. Great example of this. Felonious Funnies came out on the app first, and now it's going to be in print. So check that out. Also, in a couple weeks, you'll have the Halloween episode, Treehouse of Terror, from The Simpsons coming out. Great stuff. Last week, we mentioned the first compendium to Knightfall. That came out. It was the first time it's ever been collected. Knightfall, it's the 25th anniversary of Knightfall. This series is great. Back in the day. Back in the day being 25 years ago. Is it going to be for kids? Maybe not. It'll be for middle school and up, but it's a great storyline because I have fond memories of it. This one, though, this is the tail end of the story when it started to fray a little bit. The first part of Knightfall was great, beautiful art, great story across the board, fabulous. The second part of Knightfall, still a fan, still have the comic books in my closet, but the second part started to fray a little bit because this is the part when Bruce Wayne, when Batman, when he's broken. And what happens is how Bane, I forget the story, but it's the mantle of the bat. It's when the story started to fray a little bit. but keeping it real. If you like Knightfall and you're curious what happens after that, it's the first time this story has been published as a trade paperback, and it's worth picking up also because of the price point. Only $16 through some of the links for a whole lot of comic books. Detective Comics 664 through 666. Nothing evil about that. Showcase 93, 7 through 8. Batman 498 through 500. And Batman Shadow of the Bat 16 through 18. So that's a whole lot of Batman for not a lot of money. And if you're not familiar with the story, highly recommend it. But if you like the story, want to go back in the time machine, check it out. Batman Knightfall, trade paperback, 25th anniversary. It is out this week. True Believers. We love this series from Marvel. It's $1 comics featuring great stories, character introductions, or whatnot from the Marvel Comics pantheon from back in the day. Case in point, they've got a couple of them out this week. We'll go through them very quickly. From 1972. 1972. True Believers, Iron Fist. Wow. You've seen the show on Netflix? I haven't. I really haven't. I don't have time to watch TV. Really, I don't. But this is the comic book that started it all off from 1972. Check it out for only $1. Also only $1. Power Man and Iron Fist. Who is Power Man? Who is Iron Fist? I don't know. It's $1. Yeah, again, from the early 70s. Back in the day, you could have bought this for 35 cents. Go ahead, kick yourself in hindsight. For $1 also, True Believers Punisher #1 from 1986. If you like your Punisher a little more old school, check out True Believers Punisher. The first appearance, it reprints Amazing Spider-Man 1963. From 1963. It's issue 129 from Amazing Spider-Man. And the colors in this book are beautiful. I look at the cover, and the colors are what I remember as a kid. Even though, for me, 63 was not even on the radar. Not even born then. You can tell. You recognize the colors, because the colors, they were the standard for maybe 10 years. So even the early 70s, they look the same. Oh, beautiful. Fallen in love with this comic book all over again. True Believers Punisher. It's $1. Check it out. This one is for the fans. I say it's for the fans because it's about the size of a physics book. It really is. It is Star and the Foreces of Evil, the magic book of spells. This comic book series from Joe Books. Great stuff. It may be on Dark Horse now. I'm not sure if all Disney property rights went to IDW or not. I don't know. But this book is from Disney Press, and this is for the fans. I say that because it's obviously very thick. It is the size of a school textbook, but when you open it inside, the text is going to be such that, you know what? A 4th or a 5th grader can read it. There is some cursive writing. What's cursive? Go write a check there, kids, and you'll figure that out. But for the most part, when it's in print, you know what? Yeah, 4th grade could read it. The art is going to be right in line with Star if you've seen the show on Disney. It's beautiful stuff, but it's thick, and it's fun stuff, and it's a great show. It really is. Star versus the Foreces of Evil. It's the magic book of spells. And if you heard that whack, that was actually the sound of the book hitting my floor. That's how heavy it is. It retails for $13, and it retails for $20. Retails for $20, but if you buy it through some of the links, it will cost you $13.28. How you like that? Save some money, too, because we like to save money. Big Nate is another one we love. This is a classic book of collected short stories, comic book strips. Almost not sure what to call it, because I hate to say Big Nate is like Calvin and Hobbes, because to some parents that's going to be very it's going to be heretical. That's a word for you. This is a great comic book strip. Big Nate Goes Bananas. This collects a handful of issues of comic book strips, and they're all in color. Great, fabulous stuff. Who likes this? Ages 7 to 12 go mental over it. I still love it. It makes me laugh out loud because it does channels that thing that Peanuts and Calvin and Hobbes did so well. It captures the spirit of being a kid. In this case, if you're not familiar with Big Nate, wow, shame on you. But Big Nate is a middle school kid. I think he's in 5th grade. He's starting to like girls, but he's also got a lot of peer pressure. His family's a little strange. And it is a great comic book strip. It really is. You can pick up any of these and laugh yourself silly. But the new one is out this week. It's Big Nate Goes Bananas. Retails for $10. You know the drill. Buy it through some of the links, and you will save money. Noodleheads. Fly Guy. Are you down with Fly Guy? When we were a kid, this was the Fly Guy was the book, the series of books that our now 8-year-old kind of grew up on. And it's weird to say grew up on because he's still growing. But when he was 3 or 4, we started to read him Fly Guy. Fly Guy is a series of books for those really young readers about a fly. And the text is really simple, as it should be for that age. The art is fabulous. Ted Arnold is the creator of Fly Guy. He's got a new series of books out called The Noodleheads, and the new Noodleheads book called Find Something Fishy. Noodleheads, Find Something Fishy. It is out this week. This is going to be in the same vein, what I'll call it more complex, but only slightly more complex than Fly Guy. Ages 4 and up. For example, our 6-year-old would like this, and our 6-year-old would be able to read most of the sight words. Our 8-year-old could read Noodleheads and might be a little bored with it. So again, I'll say 5 to 8, maybe even 4 to 7. It's going to have a really sweet 3-year age range that will love this. 4th graders, you're probably too old for it. But that's okay, you're on to something else. Noodleheads, Find Something Fishy. It is out this week, and this is a great book to get your kids to learn that books are awesome, and it's a fabulous way to educate yourself. Even younger, let's go back old school. Little Golden Book School. That's what I'll call it. Aquaman. Aquaman gets the Little Golden Book treatment out, and it makes me smile because, Aquaman, remember a couple years ago when DC Universe, they rebooted and there was that viral video that came out. They said, DC, they're all going back to New 52. And this dude knocked on the door and he's, DC's cool again. DC's cool. And they went through the whole DC lineup, and the person at the door said, even Aquaman? Aquaman's cool? Even Aquaman. Aquaman's got a movie coming out. He's also got a Little Golden Book. Kind of excited about this. It's $4.99. Buy it used for $3.17. This is great for kids 2 through 5. You know Little Golden Books. Makes you smile. It's Aquaman making friends, doing good things in the ocean, and there's really nothing that you can't not love about Little Golden Books because they're iconic and they've been around for so long, and they're finally doing Aquaman. Check it out, why don't you? It's out this week. Do you like Hilda? What is Hilda? This is Hilda. You may know the graphic novel. We've got is it a graphic novel or a hardback book? I'm going to call it a hardback book, but it reads like a beautiful classic graphic novel. This is a TV tie-in. Hilda and the Hidden People. This is a book from Flying Eye Books. Flying Eye Books is one of those publishers that anything they do is great. Let me give you an example of this. Like this. This, total side note, we're going to review this next week. Flying Eye Books. When you see that on a book, just kind of hardwire into yourself that there's going to be something great about this for somebody. It may not be your jam, may not be your cup of tea, but it's going to be a well-produced quality book. I say that because Hilda and the Hidden People, this is the first time that Luke Pearson has done a book. Usually it's more of a graphic novel, illustrated book with Hilda. But with the special and the series coming out on Netflix very soon, they've got this from Penguin Random House. And the content in this is straight classic Hilda. And the words are going to be great for, you know what, 3rd grade and up. You'll be able to read this by yourself, and you will want to. The other great thing about Hilda, and we've mentioned this when we reviewed some of the books, is that Hilda is a girl main character, obviously, girl Hilda. However, the action and the story in Hilda are such that boys or girls will like it equally. And that's pretty rare for the character, the main character who is one sex, to really split the line and make it 50-50. You know what? Boys or girls are equally going to love it, and they will. Hilda and the Hidden People. It's a children's middle school book, and it is out this week. What are you reading? Again, please text that. Hashtag it New Comic Book Day, NCBD, hashtag Daddy Mojo, and let us know what you're reading.
Thanks for listening to Daddy Mojo.